Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede has relocated to Benue State in response to the growing wave of deadly attacks on communities by suspected herders and armed militia groups. The relocation of the Army Chief to Makurdi, the Benue State capital, follows increasing concerns over the near-daily killings that have claimed many lives, left hundreds of others injured, and destroyed many homes and infrastructure. General Oluyede arrived in the state accompanied by his principal staff officers and other top commanders from Army headquarters for an on-the-spot assessment of the security situation. The latest incident in the state, gunmen on Sunday invaded two communities in Gwa West and upper local government areas of Benue State, killing no fewer than 43 people. And for more on the security challenge facing Benue State, we're now being joined by the Executive Director of the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Auwal Rafsanjani, who will be discussing the intractable Benue State security crisis, why it's so difficult to tackle, a significance of service chiefs relocating to the theater of operation, and how effective it is. Welcome to Newsday, Auwal.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, Nigerians.
All right, let's take a look at this. Has Nigeria exhausted military options in tackling the menace of insecurity in Benue State from your own assessment? And what are the options on the table at the moment, you think?
Well, it's very sad that one of the major news that Nigerians wake up every day is to hear deaths, killings, kidnapping, raping, and attack by criminals, bandits, and other uprising groups. This is really not good for our country, and it's not good for the Nigerian people, especially the defenseless, poor Nigerians that cannot be able to defend themselves. And when the state is responsible for ensuring that they protect the lives and properties of Nigerians, we note that sometimes there appears to be incapacitation or negligence from the state, and also sometimes impunity that goes on, in the process of, carrying out some of this action. So Nigerians are not happy, and I don't think it is in our interest as a nation to wake up every now and then to hear that 200 people die, 50 people die, 20 people die, as if, this is what, democracy, is supposed to be doing. Contrary to that, democracy insists on protecting lives and properties of Nigerians as our constitution enshrines, and also all the national and international protocols and conventions. And sadly, the perpetual denial by the states, sometimes to say that, organizations are exaggerating the number of killing, is not also helpful, because Nigerians are suffering from these killings, destruction of their community, and yet instead of the state to wake up to do the needful, sometimes they engage some people on TikTok, social media, to come and be delegitimizing the work that some civil society organizations and human rights organizations are doing, on calling government to protect the citizens, on ensuring that the killings are actually stopped, and people perpetuating this are actually dealt with according to our law. Rather than insisting that we do that, we see that public taxpayers' money are being wasted to hire and rented people who do not love the human life, people who do not care about the loss of lives, trying to incite, some Nigerians against these organizations that are telling government to take its responsibility seriously. So this is the story we are seeing now. Organizations like Amnesty International have been vindicated with the even relocation of the army officer moving to Benue to curtail this excessive killing. These killings are happening rapidly, continuously in various communities in Nigeria, from the north to the south, to the east, to this. Everywhere Nigerians are being killed, life being wasted, and government is just moving with that, and not really much care, because if there's much care, something dramatically must have been taken to protect the lives of Nigerians, rather than sponsoring people to go and be blackmailing and abusing and delegitimizing the work that many civil society organizations are doing to call the attention of government to protect lives and properties of Nigerians, irrespective of where they come from, irrespective of their identity. We have seen that failure. So therefore, there's no any right, thinking person, whether in government or outside government, should be happy with the loss of lives that we are seeing. In Benue, the crisis that we are seeing here is outrageous. We are seeing communities being, incited against communities. We are seeing, a lot of this killing associated, as a result of communal violence, as a result of political violence, as a result of, farmers herders, as a result of bandits, as a result of other criminals who are hiding under other issues to be killing fellow Nigerians. This is unacceptable, and we will continue to document and call the attention of government to take proactive measures to protect the lives of people, irrespective of where they are, irrespective of their identity.
Well said, very well put. But let's talk about strategy. We do know doing the same thing and expecting a different result is what we call a definition of insanity. Let's talk about the strategy that we're seeing from our security forces. I'm just wondering how advantageous the physical presence of service chiefs will be for this conflict or this situation beyond symbolic gestures.
So I think there are a number of strategies that civil society have suggested to government, and if government has taken that initiative, I believe that we will have a minimal casualty of this unwanted killings that happens. These things are happening in communities. Why can't you bring communities together to discuss and see what role they can also play in order to ensure that they protect themselves, as the government is also making effort to see that they come in, rather than just always bringing in these soldiers, which in many instances, the soldiers are not even there. When these killings are happening, is after the killing happens, then you see them coming. I don't think that is the only available option that government should be consider. I think government should consider, ensuring that communities, the leaders, the young people, the religious leaders, the ethnic leaders in each communities where this persistent attack and killings happens, there should be a kind of forum where they can jointly work together with the security agencies to be able to expose those behind the sponsorship of this killing, whether it is political, whether it is hardest farmers, whether it is the bandits, whether it is communal, conflict, whatever forms of crisis that we have, there should be a strategy that will bring in together all the stakeholders in each of these communities to see how they can actually begin to track this and do what we call early warning and early response, rather than just bringing in the troops that sometimes when the action has happened, then you will see the security coming there. And even at that, the people that have been displaced, the people that have been, their lives and properties have been destroyed, no compensation. Just as the Benue is also happening.
You're advocating community policing here and, of course, intelligence gathering. But just before I let you go, in 1 minute, please, are we addressing root causes or just managing symptoms of the Benue crisis, you think? In 1 minute, please.
I think it is very clear that these killings that are happening are sometimes deliberate. It is as a result of the failure of the state, the government, to take the proactive measures. Some people who are close to the government, they could perpetuate this and nothing happens. Sometimes people who take arms, non-state actors against fellow citizens, nothing happened to them because they believe that they can do whatever they like. I think we need to end this impunity. We need to end this, reckless and irresponsible killings. Even in Zamfara, you see what happened just 2 days ago. 20 people were killed in the name of mistakes, and there's no compensation, nothing to these people that lost their lives, and that has been going on in the country. That's why we keep on recording large number of people who die, and government feel bad when these figures are mentioned, and yet they don't feel good to make sure that they protect and provide the necessary steps to ensure that they protect people. We want to work with the government to ensure that this killing are stopped. We want to work with the government to ensure that people who have suffered losses, they are compensated. But we cannot be in perpetual denial that there's no killings, or that whenever people raise this issue, you say they want to cause trouble. Which trouble? People are already in trouble. People are just saying that wake up to your responsibilities as Constitution empowers you to do. There should not be any politicking. There should not be any, impunity or disregard on the amount of death that is going on in Nigeria. People need to wake up and realize that we are only counting, deaths on daily basis, and this should not be. And government must do everything possible to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians. This is what we are asking, and this is what we are saying. Rather than just sponsoring people to come and be insulting and dismissing and lying against people who are saying that please do the right thing in the country. This is what we are calling government to do. I believe civil society are happy to support government to ensure that this killing stop.
Absolutely, and we certainly appreciate you for your insight and time here on Newsday. Auwal Rafsanjani, Executive Director of CISLAC, thank you so much for joining us here on Newsday.